Okay. Well, okay, we're now live. So, let's jump over to the studio here. It is a very, very casual day for me, so you have to excuse my workout attire. I am, well, not feeling like dressing up. So this is what you get. So, the session today, we will actually have visual aids, not a lot, but there won't necessarily be a lot. I don't want to bombard you with all kinds of weird stuff to be like, please reference 42A in the codex of this map thing. That's a lot to deal with. We don't want to do that. So I'm going to be showing you on the screen. That way we have it all kind of locked in. There's not a lot to show. So those who don't see the stream regularly, that's okay. I can put it in the 40K. Would that make it easier for the people playing? To actually have the visual aids in the 40K chat to reference?
I don't think it would hurt.
Okay. Yeah. Well, then why don't we just do that then? Sarah, would you mind uploading those?
You can also save copies and make your own notes on them.
Sure that. You want to do that?
Yeah, I can upload them.
Thank you. So, what we're doing now is we're going to, well, jump into it. We are in the past. And so where did we leave our, I don't want to say blunderous, haphazardly going forward team? Where were you guys at? What was happening?
CC was blasting elevator music throughout the entirety of this Vox channel. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we got word that somebody somewhere needs us to rescue them.
And there was a Vox channel, and you kind of had it piped into your head, which is pretty cool. And you are, I would say, you were going to navigate your way through what was left of a ship that had just spontaneously occurred in front of you? Is that right? What happened there?
A ship spontaneously occurred in front of us. So we were like, damn, that's crazy.
You were like, oh my gosh, ship. And so here you are. People are all over the place. You guys decided to go into your pipe, and there was cold. And then you left the pipe when the water stopped flowing in, almost drowning you. It was a mess. But we have... Double checking. Good, yep. You guys are here. Huge ship. You heard there's a base being kind of put together, a group of people at the front of the ship being organized for just trying to gain control of whatever's happening. And what is your overall mission? Why are you here? Why are you even in the pipes? What's going on?
Curiosity. But not even necessarily our own.
No.
People's curiosity.
Yeah, because there was a problem. Floor 4 flooded. And you were sent to go unflood it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Sent to check it out, see why it flooded.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's... Turn that down. That's great. And very nice. People were dying or whatever, but mostly because that's a lot of real estate. And
yeah, and also the rich people can't get all of their working class to do the work that they would normally do because they're worried about their loved ones and stuff.
And they're missing their pores. Who will harvest the kelp if not for the pores? It's a problem. So, you were sent to go drain floor 4, get people back to it so that the pores don't have anything to complain about anymore. Easy.
And we found some pores.
You did. You found some pores. So fun. Now, you were going down through the old system of pipes and mining corridors that the original peoples who colonized this planet bored into the earth because they were looking for fossil fuels. Something that's not super common because this planet was rich in life for a long time. For the most part, they're not super easy to get to fossil fuels, that is. And there are reasons that you might need that. For example, this kelp, very, 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 I would say, efficient lubricant. That's what your hive is known for. But here you are, looking for what caused the flooding, looking for some way to keep it from happening again, and to try and alleviate the current flooded floor 4. You went down, and weirder shit kept happening as you kept going through the tunnels underneath your hive. Neat. Okay. You're now... we'll jump over to the actual screen here. If you are looking at the drawings in the 40K, you're going to see this thing. So this is a basic representation of the corridor that you guys were using. Y'all were just about right here. And there's this mess of a ship that is now taking up a large part of the corridor. Ship, and then you, roughly, here. Are you guys seeing that, my players?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, where is this? This is roughly... So your eyes adjust for a second. Roughly over here in the -3 west corridor. So, you are in this corridor. It is just about, I would say, halfway through this that you're seeing this. So, this is a very, very, very large area. These light blue lines are the maintenance or pumping tubes that you guys have been navigating. They traverse the entirety of the... They go up into the hive. And... This music is a little bit too loud. And they run parallel to each of these corridors that were mined out. They were used for the wet drilling. Pumping in and pulling out water. Are you with me so far?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So here you are. You're in this tube area. And you were about right here. Very near to where this nonsense started happening. You were headed into the larger piece of the craft because that's where you can see just about where the front of the ship is now, where you were told that there might be some kind of an aid station, some kind of a command being put back in place. Okay. Let's start by getting an idea on perception again. Are you guys ready to do that? Roll perception. As your
7.
7?
7.
Oof.
77.
Oof.
96.
96. Okay. That's
45.
45.
13.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Well, for everybody but Nigel, you are able to see that there are pools of coolant leaking out. There are the very in need of some aloe or something psychers who are almost turned to ash as they spent themselves stopping the roof from seemingly coming undone, unleashing perhaps a reservoir of water into your little confined tube here. You have bodies, you have pools of water because a lot of this is being flushed around, and you have where these chemicals are mixing with the water. You can see the kind of silky colored oil sitting on top in some areas. There are still small fires that haven't been put out yet, going in the different exposed halls of the ship. For our two gals who rolled under 20, under 15, you'll see that the ship is not neatly, but seemingly bisected. It's not the whole ship. As you get closer, and as you round the edge of the jagged metal, you can see different floors of the ship. You can see a cross-cut, very bizarre, where the large and sometimes small maintenance floors are separated by exposed wire, leaking pipes and tubes, grating that was used as walkways that's contorted and spun as it held on to fragments of the ship that were too heavy to be supported by anything else. It is charred where you see the metal broken at the bisection. That's what you see. You are about at floor 1 of the ship, so to speak, as you approach it. And if you were thinking about it in our terms, the ship is still about as tall as the average 5-story building. It's pretty large. And you're about floor 1 right now. But it's kind of a mess, so you could just kind of walk up to floor 2 using rubble. Thoughts?
I'm following
we
Cece.
Yeah.
Right. Fantastic. No notes, so
We're going inside the ship, right? Because that's where
Yeah.
you got the
Yeah.
distress signal from.
yep.
Okay.
And I was made aware by whoever was screaming over the comms that they are in the bow, which is the front. Cece's gonna try and at the very least just like, I don't even know if she would ask. No, I think she would just try and like just fucking radar ping her way there. Just try and slip through some rubble.
Okay. And you're slipping your way through rubble, just kind of moving, navigating around big pieces of metal. Again, there was a huge leak in the ceiling of this cavern, and it was stopped by freezing the water. You don't know how much is left. It isn't likely to be the whole way to the ocean because just doing some math, it's not practical for a couple psychers, even giving their lives to stop the weight of the ocean. So it's a lot to keep up. So it's probably some aquifer of some kind. But you don't know how much is in there still. It's currently plugged with the ice. The room is chilly. You can each see your breath. And you can smell some kind of propellant. Your feet...
Yeah, didn't we mention last session that there was a degree of like spillage, like oil slick on the outside that they should probably concern themselves with?
Yes. Yep. And it is true. And there are people scattering, coming to, dazed people who are being shaken. And the lighting varies from very well lit in some regions where there still seems to be power held onto of the ship to almost darkness, as overhanging pieces of the metal are occluding the emergency lighting, which was just a dull lighting above you from the cavern. And sometimes where there's a perhaps startling little spark, you'll see quite well with a bright light for a moment. Just a spark, something shorting somewhere. The ship's a mess. I would say it's going to take a lot for it to be space-worthy again. Like most of a ship, it would be necessary. But yeah, so here you go. Your boots are on the metal surfaces.
Do we have any fucking screens, computers, terminals that we can dig around in, see if we can't grab some more info?
Let me get a tech use from you.
You can get a tech use from me. The power of using tech. Once remember how D100 roll.
What was your number?
61, but I think that still passes. My intelligence is very high.
Yeah,
It does.
What's your intelligence?
60.
Yeah. So this is a standard Imperium tech, and
Plus 20 to tech use.
I was gonna say you probably have tech use on top of it. You passed by 3 degrees. This is nothing for you. Also, your plundering of the database sees that nearly every entry of any import, to you at least, is made by the Mechanicum. You note that there are actually more brothers and sisters of the Mechanicum here than you've been made aware of existed in your entire hive. Just on board this ship is maintenance. A staggering revelation for you, perhaps. There are a shitload of Mechanicum out there. You're not some tiny little cult that was sequestered away to do the bidding when it was time to clean out the gunk. Weird. But you do see that with this general readout, you're able to find what used to be the halls that led to the front of the ship. You can't tell how accurate it is because it was designed for a ship that was not split in half and in a rock, but you can see that there's a general direction to move in.
Yeah, so Cece's like typing away at the computer. You see her just like do a distinct pause for a second. And then she's like, okay, follow me. And then she just keeps walking.
I guess we'll follow you.
Yep.
So we do.
You would also see that there are very obvious records of where the Mechanicum is housed, meets, performs their rituals, and maintenance in their bays. So you can see that they go in different directions, and if we're looking at this map, one direction toward the bow of the ship would be left screen, and the other direction is kind of down screen. It's this southern direction that kind of goes into the rock here away from you.
The Mechanicum are the ones buried in the dirt, or was that the captain?
Other way around, yeah. So the captain is off to the side, Mechanicum kind of south.
Interesting.
It could be some of those halls are traversable still, but it's no one's even really been over there.
And my poor little servo babies don't exist anymore.
No. They went bye-bye.
They did, yeah.
They went bye-bye. Yeah, so he's gonna be like, okay, so like we're totally gonna go save this captain. We're all super excited about it. We're all having a great time. Side note, they've got so many tech priests here. So many. And I kinda wanna go see them. So like, apropos of nothing, no reason. If y'all want to like save that captain, great, we'll go do it because like saving lives and being helpful and super important. But also just like put a pin for me in the idea of like, I don't know, surrounding myself with people who are intrinsically motivated in the same degrees that I am and like getting answers and like just seeing some cool shit. Like getting answers. Want to see some cool shit?
Yes.
Cool
Yeah.
shit.
Let's do that. As Zuri scribbles these things in her notebook.
Scribbles a notebook, going to see cool shit.
Gotta go
Going to
see
see cool shit.
intrinsically
Lots
motivated.
of tech priests.
Oh, yes, yes, all right. Okay.
Yeah. After we save the captain, perhaps.
Okay.
More cool shit.
What
That
other
perhaps
documents
is putting a lot of weight.
do you guys have here?
What?
What other documents do you guys have? This is the past party, remember? So there are some things that you're like, oh, maybe it's this. It's not that. But do you guys have any other things you're carrying around?
I have an infantryman's uplifting primer.
Great
I have-
document.
Spray of grenades.
Plasma pistol rounds,
Uh-huh.
infrared goggles,
Mhm.
and then the seismic checker and charges.
Nice.
Okay.
But nothing literature.
No. You're future people. But yeah, I believe that is about it. I think that Lindoa had a few items too, but that's okay. So what we want to do is set off. You're going to be moving without the usual hazards, but there are going to be things that are slowing you in here that are unrelated to the normal, shall we say, barriers for movement. Things like you're going to be moving through like rooms that are still kind of on fire. There are going to be leaking rooms, places that are flooded that you're just kind of moving through. You're moving through the ship very, very slowly. It takes you about 2 more hours. You pass quite a few dead. People who are panicked, running around, seemingly unaware of you, or if they see you, it's just a hell out of the way kind of a thing. Some people are shell-shocked. Men, women in robes, uniforms. It's a mess. But you eventually make it to the jagged maw that makes up the front of the ship. Front in air quotes here. Because it's gone for the most part, shorn off by perhaps rock, perhaps whatever brought you here. But you do see, as you stand about, again, floor 1, floor 2, the mess in the middle, looking out at the greater chasm, kind of like a pitfall in your stomach as the room opens up in front of you again into near darkness. But you can see that there are floodlights that have been set up around several terminals with thick cable and many moving pieces, including small hovercraft, ferrying goods and tech back and forth from what seems to be a forward operating base. Can I get another perception from you guys?
32.
32.
80.
88.
45.
69.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Well, Lindoa rolled a 13.
Cece's thinking about tech priests.
I'm sure she is.
Noah rolled a 13. And so, with his eagle eyes, we're able to make note of what looks like a pair of people in charge. One has a hat, the other one doesn't. Lindoa thinks it's the one with the hat that's in charge. But they both
So true.
seem to be kind of upright. And from where you're at, it's maybe 50 yards away. It's pretty far away. Deeper into this large chasm. But you can't really make out male, female. It's probably not going to matter, but you can't really see specifics. So, that's where you're at. It wouldn't take much more than a a successful acrobatics roll to get off this hunk of the ship and jog over there for you guys. I feel like just giving that to you. What do you want to do?
I'm just gonna yell, "Hey, are you two in charge?"
From where you're at?
Yeah, how far away are they?
Pretty far.
Damn.
It's
Can you turn up your vocal cords?
well,
no,
yeah,
I'm just gonna
Cece
go over
could.
to Vox. Be like, "Are you on Vox? Are you two in Vox? I'm in a room with two people that kind of look like they're in charge. One's in a fantastic hat. The other one's in a slightly ill-fitting cut.
You see
Great color, though."
the figure without the hat snap upright and then hold their ear, looking back at the ship. What?
Yeah, it's like bad in the shoulders. We just gotta give it a little like zhuzh.
Who is
Hi,
this?
I'm CC.
How did you get a hold of this box?
Oh, it's in my brain. Welcome to my brain.
Welcome. Is that where we are? You're calling this place? Did you say it was Yorbrin?
Oh yeah, my brain. I can understand the confusion. I'm the ship. I've been here the whole time.
Mybrin? This place is called Mybrin?
Correct.
Who is this?
My name's Cece. What's yours?
What faction do you represent?
Well, all of them, all the time, always. But in actuality, I'm an arbiter from floor 1 of this planet. There's like 4 that matter anyway. I'm also a tech priest. That's why I'm in your head, or at the very least in your Vox channel.
You see
Specifically.
the
Not actually in
individual
your head because you're not.
lit up while you're talking. You see the individual lit up without a hat march over to what appears to be a computer of some kind. It's some kind of technical device. You can't really make out what appear to be antennas, some kind of an array on it, and he just starts violently hitting the top of it, holding his ear, and he's just like hitting a piece, and one of the robed individuals turns around, and UCC and Lindo with his pretty good roll can make out that it is a Mechanicum representative who kind of puts an actual hand on the individual without a hat, and then using mechadendrites scoots the piece of equipment away from his thumping on the top of it, and then begins to presumably tweak it in some way. And you can't really hear the guy with the hat anymore, or without the hat anymore.
So he locked you out?
No, he's having
Right.
trouble with his shit equipment.
Ah.
I guess I should like go over and actually talk because they don't want to talk over the boxes. They would rather just like hit equipment that didn't do anything to them.
Okay.
Honestly.
Zuri writes, barbaric? Question mark?
Okay. So, you are moving over.
So an acrobatics check, you said.
Oh, yeah, you guys, you'll be fine. You just take your time.
Okay,
Don't rush
like,
it.
my
If you guys want to
agility's
rush
not
it,
high.
you take it. But I don't think there's no, not, impending doom. So you guys head over. And there's going to be little carts, little hover pieces moving back and forth. Again, thick cabling and tubing. As you make your approach, someone moving much, with more agility than you, kind of jogs by with a kind of earnest, determined look. They just kind of move around you and keep trotting. You're cautiously moving, and you eventually arrive at the pool of lights set up by the floodlights. Everybody's pretty busy. They're kind of ignoring you.
Cece just walks up to whoever feels the most important.
Okay.
And it's like, hey, anyway, so somebody was calling and crying about like being setting up a relay station, a little like point of contact, because your ship sort of came in out of nowhere and cracked in half. So, like, did y'all need help with that, or are you good?
The individual in front of you turns on his heel and says, You're the Arbites from Mybron? You the one I
Yes,
spoke
that's
to?
right. Correct.
Who's your regent? Who's your magistrate? Where are we?
Cece's like, do you have like a holopad so I can like draw you a map?
What is our planet called again?
I don't even know.
I wrote it down on one of these character sheets.
It's
I think
honestly,
it's numbers.
it is pretty much. And
Okay,
it's, go ahead.
so Nyla steps forward and she's like, Sissy, he wants to know where we are. And you are currently inside of, and she gives the name of the planet.
Okay.
And she says, we are buddies from floor 1, and you are currently not on any floor because you're inside of our maintenance ducts.
He stares at this presumptuous person.
Do you know what a maintenance duct is? I don't understand your bear. Like,
So
is
super
the
tall Cece, just like with her hands being like, do you know? And Nyla with her hands on her hips trying to be taller than 1.6 meters, being like, you're inside of our planet.
Suri is just standing behind you guys, chuckling as quietly as possible to herself.
Because like we've dealt with so many people today, we just don't know everybody's frame of reference for their like grasp on technology and general conversation. And you just kind of keep staring open-mouthed agape. So I'm just making sure we're on the same page. You know? You know?
Who's
Roll
in
fellowship.
charge here? It's clearly not you. We're our buddies from floor 1, and I show them my badge.
Floor 1. Floor 1.
Yes, we're investigating floor 4 because it flooded. You're on a water planet, by the way. You're welcome. We sell kelp. Feel your fucking ships here. Now, who's in charge? And she like waves her badge.
Do you need a cough drop?
Magus,
You have cough drops?
please.
It's so dry down here.
determine where it is our guests are from. And
We just oh my god.
the representative of the Mechanicum, who has been standing there quietly humming next to him, begins to move forward to you and kind of opens his robes, and he has about 6 mechadendrites. And he's reaching towards Cece first with what appears to be a data slicing tool of some sort.
Let's splice that data, baby.
Okay.
Fellowship of 37, by the way.
Fellowship of 37. Okay.
Yeah.
And
That was my also rolling fellowship.
Nice.
I
That's
actually
hilarious.
I rolled a 4, and so I didn't bother.
Okay.
I didn't bother.
He
like,
rolled a 4 for not believing he's inside of a planet.
Yeah, and so it was
Good
like,
for him.
so the Magus. This is gonna sound like something it's not, but you know, slices in, and there's an exchange of information. It's static to you. You're not used to communicating with the Mechanicum in the same way he's communicating with you right now. It's a flurry. It's actually almost imperceptible to you. Can I get a tech use skill from you?
That's the sound I make when I do text shit. That had a stroke. So one moment, please. Oh, I forgot the D.
Huh?
I'm using a fucking online bot, and if you don't put a D for the designation of the dice number. It's just
I was
it's
like,
gonna fire out
I mean,
random
if
fucking numbers.
you're having a party, you do want to bring the D, I suppose, but this isn't that kind of party.
That's a 4.
A 4.
A 4.
That's all right. That's good. So, this indistinguishable nonsense, just perceptible but barely, almost sounds like a radio that's being tuned. The longer he's communicating, the clearer it becomes, and you have picked up the skill binary chatter. You can add that to your character's repertoire. That allows you
start controlling all the servitors.
that allows you to, in some cases remotely, but in other cases directly, at least, communicate with machines that do not actually have speech per se. You can communicate using binary. So you can actually, that's a talent you just picked up. The Magos needs to speak with you quickly and doesn't have time for you to naturally learn the language, so he's effectively downloaded it into you.
Ugh.
And he's now more or less speaking to you by probing your available databanks. And he doesn't appear to be shutting out any questions you have, so if you have anything that you'd like to ask in this kind of subconscious exchange, is there anything you would like to ask while he's busy?
I think Cece's frame of reference is the sort of limping along mechanicum and knowing that there are so many of them and that, like, this is a thing. Like, somebody just gave me a whole ding-dong language. It's... I think the most immediate questions are, like... How can our structures on a social level be so vacantly far apart? And how do I get this for me, you know?
Yeah. As you see, moving at the speed of light, almost, you're seeing that he's kind of thumbing through your drives. He's looking at memories that are stored, things that were particularly harsh or memorable to you in time. He doesn't care. He's not passing judgment, but he is flagging moments where you're disparaged or otherwise ordered to do something by someone outside of the Mechanicum. And they just receive little exclamation point file pings on them. It's nothing. He's basically just tagging them for future reference. He's just going through what you have. He does arrive at one moment in particular, though. The moment not long ago for you, where you received, to you at least, no uncertain terms, a direct communication from the Omnissiah.
My religious experience.
You had an awakening of sorts. This causes the Magos to pause for what seems, to the two of you at least, like a long time. It's about 20 seconds where he rereads, pauses, rereads, pauses, rereads, pauses. Checks for errors in the file. Rereads, pauses. Rereads, checks for errors. Rereads it, and then breaks communique. He, without saying anything to you directly, lets out a small, stuttering chitter that seems quite muffled. And walks away. The individual without the hat goes, ugh. Do you know where they're from? And the Magos just goes back to whatever he's doing. He's like, where are you from? What is this?
Right. Like, data slate, so I can make you a map. Do you know what a map is? We're taking so long.
Give me a fellowship roll here.
My
Can I
fellowship
also
is
roll
great.
fellowship? Because I still have my badge out.
Yeah, they got a 6. Go ahead, beat a 6.
What, really?
Yeah, sorry.
I got a 56.
That's almost the thing.
Yeah.
True to CC's form, Matt got a 67.
Nice.
Anybody else want to assist? We'll go with Lindoa assist. 85. Okay.
I am not the only one with a badge here.
You have a badge.
I put gems on mine, and I show my badge.
Oh my god, it's bedazzled. That's amazing. Anyway, look at her badge. We both have badges. We're all Arbites.
You're barely
Nothing else
Arbites.
has a badge.
Look at the bars on this. He grabs your badge, Sarah. Look at this.
Hey,
Did the noble Arbites change their ranking system since I last set foot on a planet? What is this? Where's your PDF? Who is your commanding officer?
hey, tell them
F.
our commanding officer's name.
Uh-huh.
And I
Bring
think
them
I
here.
wrote it down. I didn't.
Bring them here.
We
Damn.
can't. We're telling you, you are somewhere in the maintenance shafts that is either above or slightly below floor 4. There are 4 floors. This is a hive city, okay? And we're from floor 1, and we came down to floor 4 in these maintenance shafts because floor 4 had a horrible flooding problem, and no one can be there right now. Do you not see this water?
Give me another fellowship.
Come on, Nyla. 32?
He stares at you. He's unsure what to do. The individual with the hat, by the way, if anybody wants to roll perception or whatever, feel free to do that.
I will, absolutely, because I'm
Yay,
great at rolling.
perception!
Yeah.
94! Nyla is way too mad that this guy isn't respecting her authority.
That's a 10. 10
thank goodness.
perception.
5 from me.
Is it 5?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, Nyla brushes past this person she's talking to without a hat and says, "Excuse me, sir." And the woman she's talking to kind of raises her eyebrows and adjusts her gaze to meet her. She is startled by this abrupt and crass approach. D-Beck, if you wanted to intervene, nobody's going to stop you. You're the one with the 5 here.
Yep, I'll intervene.
What does it look like?
Stop it.
Crap.
Well, I'll tell
I
you.
don't know.
Am I about to make a social blunder?
You're blundering pretty hard. You
Yeah.
just kind of intervene. Yeah, that's true.
Look, no one is respecting my authority as an Arbites, so I'm just gonna keep doing this until someone tells me to stop. Did I get my badge back from that other guy?
No.
Can I take my badge back from that other guy?
Is that what you're going to do?
I'm gonna say, hey, give me my badge back.
So you trotted over, not far, about 10 feet, about speaking distance away from the woman with the hat, who has just been kind of casually watching everybody work. People walk up to her occasionally. She nods or says something, signs something, points at a data slate, whatever, clearly coordinating things. The individual you were speaking to is this has all happened very quickly. So he's kind of like turned around, he's like watching your interaction with the hatted person. And so you wheel around after saying, "Hey," and then you flip around back at the dude.
I didn't think I'd walked away from him.
Not far, like 3 feet. It's not away. You're still arm's reach.
I
yeah.
want my badge back.
Okay, so you're gonna grab it. He's still holding it in his hand, like just out. Just
Yeah,
in front of you.
I just take it back.
You just take it back. Well, you grab it. Let's get a strength check. Go ahead.
Oh, that's not my.
You're rolling 82.
forte.
Go ahead.
He rolled a what?
82.
22.
Okay, so there's some struggle. Hey, yeah, and there's some back and forth, and you rip it from his hand.
I MNR bite tis flum for 1. I don't know how else to tell you this. You're illegally parked in our maintenance shafts.
You know, I see this going on, and I think I should try to arrest him.
Okay.
Is that Muffin in
Oh.
the background?
Yeah.
Quack, quack.
That is Muffin.
So you're
Muffin
going
says,
to
fuck you.
arrest this guy?
Yes.
Okay.
For obstructing
What would that be?
justice.
This is an interesting approach. I would like to know what you are going to do first. So first of all, this is your home world. You are an Arbite. You have the authority to do things like this as you see fit. This person is being unruly. These things make sense to you, and it's as natural to you as anything else. So there's not going to be any weird... You're not going to have to overcome some kind of like a willpower check or whatever. Just as you said it, perfectly fine. You're going to either tell the person to stop resisting, that they're being placed under arrest, or you're going to just start arresting them, grabbing a hand, put them in a come along, and slap cuffs on. Zip tie, whatever you have. And this is something that I would see a physical approach or a verbal approach first. Which one are you going to go with?
So the first thing I'm going to do is tell Londo to stop carrying me so I can arrest the man.
Okay.
Put me
I
down.
forgot about that.
Yep.
I'm going
He
to
does.
march over to him.
It's graceful. 26.
And is there like a box or something around?
There are plenty of boxes. What do you like a milk crate?
Yeah, like a milk crate, something I can easily pick up.
Yeah, there are things you can easily pick up. There are little terminals, pieces that have been salvaged that the Mechanicum is yet to fully integrate into this operating base here.
Okay, I'm going to pick one up, march over to the hatless man,
Mm-hmm.
put it on the ground, stand on it.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm going to grab his shirt, pull his face to mine, and tell him, "You're under arrest. Do not resist."
Okay.
And then I'm
No.
going to put cuffs on him.
Oh, thank Christ. I thought it was a nat 1. It's 61. Okay. So you do this, and it sounds to me like you're going to be using a fellowship first. Because you're going to tell him that he's under arrest, and he's going to comply or not. Go ahead and roll fellowship, please.
11.
11. He is shocked, actually stunned. He is stupefied by what has happened in front of him, and the audacity of what is happening in front of him has caused him to be rendered motionless with an almost laughing face. Like, actually stunned. You have your opening. You can put cuffs on him.
I put cuffs on him.
You
Who's last in
put
now?
him in front. You put him behind. How are you going to be cuffing him here?
Behind.
Okay. Hands behind his back. So you kind of just spin him around while you're on your crate, or do you like climb off and like what's the move?
I drop him to the ground,
Ah, power move. Okay.
and then I sit on him.
You sit on him. So he's on his stomach, and you're cuffing him that way.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's just in a stupor then by the brazen audacity. He can't even find the words. And the individual with the hat is actually almost giggling herself. It's the most emotion you've seen from her face all day looking at this happening.
Then I'm gonna just, kind of stare at Nyla and say, "That's how you do it."
That's how you do it.
Did one man, and now he is arrested. I don't know what we're gonna do with him. Anyway, is anybody else here who can, talk to us?
Okay. So, there are a few things that are going to happen. We're going to stop everything for just a moment because everything's going to happen very quickly. So, you are at the bow of the ship. You're probably 40 meters from the tip of the crumpled metal that makes up the forwardmost piece of the ship. You're in a large, cavernous, former mine shaft. It goes on into what seems to be darkness. The Mechanicum, the Magos that you had communicated with CC, and 4 others of similar, we'll say, augmentation, are not far from you. And they've been quietly collecting just outside of the light. At the time that you see this, it's the last thing you see before the floodlights that make up the ring of illuminated space that you've been operating out of cut. You hear all sorts of things start to power down. Fans, cooling operations that were keeping some of these terminals from overheating. You hear fans winding down. You hear pumps start to lose pressure as various apparatus, small life support for some of the people who are set up in a tiny hospital. A low hum leaves the air as the rudimentary communications that have been passing back and forth die down. A hush also pours over everyone. This is all at once. It is near darkness. The very, very, very faint emergency lighting that dots the inside of the original mining corridor, almost nothing. It's enough that you can see your hand if you hold it directly in front of your face, but not much more. Everyone roll perception.
Is this a sight-based thing, or can we do hearing?
It is all of your senses you have available to you.
Sick.
14.
What was that?
30.
14.
Nat
Yeah.
1.
What was that?
Nat 1.
Nat 1. Okay. So,
18.
18? Okay. So, the person who is underneath you is brought to kind of, he's roused from his stupefaction and begins to kind of try to thrash you off of his back. Get off me! All right, enough. What is this? What is going on here? And he's just kind of violently jerking his shoulders back. Get these off of me! And you ride the rodeo pretty well. He's not getting up, but it's just because of your incredible perception of his movements that you're able to stay on top. He's trying to force you off.
Stop resisting arrest.
I want to smack him with his bottom. Stop that.
Yeah,
This,
there's not much he can do, so go ahead and give me a fellowship test.
I got a 3.
He got a 93. So
he likes it.
he does. He stops. He's like, "Mm," and then just kind of lays there, like pouting, very, very unhappy. And
You're under arrest, and now you're under me.
he just kind of stops resisting. Now you are seeing a little better, perhaps. Maybe it's not sight. Maybe it's the binary chatter moving through the air from the Magos in front of you, the directors of the Mechanicum dispatched to this ship, it almost feels like some kind of echolocation. Their perception is your perception, CC. They have spoken. They performed the rites. And they are ready for you to lead them to the Omnissiah. They have made way for your exit and prepared transport.
Oh my god, this is so awkward.
They why are all of these tech priests staring at us?
CC just like
CC can
belches
see.
out.
CC can see every single node, every point of contact. Like I said, their perception is effectively slaved to you wirelessly. You can see every hot point where data is being blocked, almost just like floating numbers and currents. You can see where every little pinch point in anything that they've influenced on this ship or in the forward operating base is in a constant current readout.
I think CC, like in binary chatter, or is just like, that's stupid. I can't leave it to do the Omnissiah. The Omnissiah is on Mars. And who wrote this code? And just starts poking away at it. It's like,
So okay, I want to make sure I understand. So the four magos of the ship are approached you, and they've made preparation for your exit, for you to escort them to the Omnissiah, and that they've made way for that to happen.
That's the question. Because I am a tech priest, I would know the Omnissiah is on Mars.
Well, the Omnissiah is the Emperor. At least that is
yes,
what the Omnissiah is. Yeah, anyway, go ahead.
Okay. Lead them to the Emperor of Man.
That is what they believe you're going to do.
Interesting.
You were
That's
spoken
crazy.
to directly. That's pretty great.
Yeah. But it was like a flash on the pan or whatever. Like, wait, you guys don't talk to the Omnissiah? That's crazy.
Humbled, one of the magos drops to his knees.
So, okay, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this is as CC or as Roland, because it's silly. We know that the inciting incident to CC's religious experience was us being down in these fucking tubes, and part of the equation, whether related or not, was the interaction between those like fucking runes. When the Magus was digging around in there, digging through the memories, slopping a blop and blop all through, did they flag any portion of that as important, or is there a history of people being directly contacted by the Omnissiah at any point, and not just when they're surrounded by warp adjacent runes that cultists make?
Not many. Only saints, really. And also, it wasn't of any import. That's flesh people doing flesh things. But Cece was confident that it was the Omnissiah. Cece was given a gift, a revelation at that time.
Yeah, Cece doesn't know.
There wasn't any distinction between that revelation for Cece and the revelation that you're standing in the dark right now.
Because I remember those came off of really good rolls, so I think Cece's just like...
They did come off of really
having a
good
great
rolls.
time. Oh, they're staying because they want me to take them to the Omnissiah. It's like a whole thing. I'm a saint now.
Well,
Well,
hasn't gone through the
it's really
proper
cool
paper.
that you're a saint, and I am so proud of you, Cece. But
The saints.
like, where? Okay, so wait. What do they want us to? What do they want you to do? What are we doing?
Okay, so there's this whole thing, because, like, I love you. You're my cousin. I adore you with my whole fiber in my being. But, like, flesh is weak. All that jazz. There's, like, okay, so think right of, like, the Emperor of Man. Okay? Because you're, like, man. And the Omnissiah, who's, like, super cool and fantastic. And, like, the big cheese when it comes to Tech Priest, who is, fun fact, also the Emperor of Man. Cool thing, right? So... what I need to do, as somebody who is directly spoken to by the Emperor himself, is just take them on over, and so they can say it, right? They just want to say it. They just want to hang out. They just want to talk.
Okay. Like, isn't the Emperor on Terra?
Yeah, I don't know. So that's the thing. They're gonna give me a ship. So I think that part's just golden.
It's not this ship, is it? Because this ship is fucked.
It's like broken in half. Yeah, that was gonna be my next question of like, what ship?
I think we maybe should talk to someone who's not tech priests,
Natural-
unless they're gonna put this back together.
Roll agility.
That seems pointed.
Well, I mean, because they're very clearly obsessed with you, and we can't
as they
go
should.
anywhere until we have a ship that works. And also, maybe these guys can like fix floor 4 before you lead them on their grand journey.
Pilar, please roll perception.
I think that'd be a pretty good
That was-
detour, right?
An 87.
87. Okay.
Yeah, but like, if you think
And
about
then
it,
after they fix floor 4 and like drain it all with their tech priest powers,
Nigel, what was your agility?
then we can go back to floor 1 and introduce you as Sissy the Saint, and all of these guys will also introduce you as Sissy the Saint, and then we might even have like a better ship than like whatever is going on here.
Nigel, your agility, please.
23.
23? Okay. Your agility, unfortunately, not quite enough to keep the individual from rolling you off of him. You can struggle to put him back under butt. Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
All right. He rolls a 66 for a grapple test. What you got for him?
What's 3 zeros again?
That's a nat 100.
Hang on. Is that worth a
This
fate
thing a
point?
breath?
That, I would say, is
Do I
worth a
think-
fate point.
do I think a bit
Yeah,
is worth a fate
yeah.
point? Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm gonna re-roll.
I would say, well, because this is like if you roll a nat 100, do you remember what happened to Bone Man? I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
you might get like a horrible concussion when that guy bucks you off.
You
Bucks
might
you up,
like
you immediately break your neck.
yeah, you might like try to like reach to like grab him and accidentally punch yourself like in the knee and like burst your patella, and then like now you just can't walk the rest of it's a whole thing. Nat 100 is no good.
It's a 50 now.
A 50.
Better than a 60.
Well, that's okay. That's all right. So, yeah, that is enough that he starts to try to roll away, and you just kind of clamp down. But it's close enough that you're now sitting on his stomach, and he's like, "Get off of me!" Trying to, like, push the air out, but he's under
I'm gonna
butt.
tweak his nipples.
Can I use an intimidation check on him?
Yeah.
All right.
I want to give you a heads up. This is going to be extremely difficult.
The purple nurpling of this man is wild.
Give me that's going to be a fellowship. I don't think that's going to be a strength check. Nigel, can you give me a fellowship for the tweaking? And then D-Beck, please give me a really good intimidation check.
Oh, that's a 4.
4 is good.
That is
Beats
really
the
good.
10. He had a 10. So you okay. This is good. So sell it to me. How do you intimidate?
I just drop my anchor right in front of him.
He's startled. He didn't see you there, let alone the anchor. Ah! And how's the fellowship going, Nigel?
I got a 42.
You got a 32. So he keeps moving his nipples out of the way if you're tweaking. He's slippery. It's not happening. Not quite. No. And but he is startled. Quite startled by the anchor. What's the rest of the intimidation like?
Want to take one of those grenades out, undo the pin, and stick the grenade in his mouth.
I don't think that'll
Jesus.
fit.
Whoa, whoa,
A,
whoa!
that's not gonna fit. But B,
Aw.
Won't the grenade explode?
no.
Only if he doesn't clench
Only
his
if he
jaw
doesn't
hard.
clench his jaw.
Uh-oh.
Is that what you want to do?
Yeah.
Okay, so it won't fit. So you're gonna take the grenade pin out and just kind of hold it, or
Yeah.
all right. Well, he isn't able to see you, but he's still very frightened by the anchor because he doesn't know what the hell an anchor is doing here. It's about all he can see is anchor. Well, twerking his nipples away from Nigel.
Do I see the grenade?
Roll perception. If he's more than like
68?
1 foot in front of you, no, you don't.
Still pitching my idea to CC the Saint.
Yeah,
The absolute whiplash of Saint CC and grenade and nipple tweaking.
Pilar, can you
is-
get
Look,
in a
Nyla
position
is
for me?
faced away from that. She doesn't see it. She's selling to CC that these guys can help us fix floor 4, which will be a net positive for our planet. And then she can definitely just lead them to the Omnissiah after that, because everyone will be so incredibly grateful that they'll just give her whatever ship she wants.
Yeah, but like
Pilar,
I
perception,
could
please.
just go to the Omnissiah before that. Everyone?
Pilar,
But how much time
Yep.
would it actually take
Perception,
to fix
please.
it with, like, how many tech priests are there? How many are we seeing
Fun
here?
fact, I checked an incalculable number.
16.
They just have like rosters of tech praised. It's like
Well,
super
they
cool.
look. They can fix floor 4 really fast,
Pilar
and like it would
sees
maybe take
the
like
woman with the hat
a day,
standing right
and
next to
then
Sarah,
you're on your way to the Omnissiah.
listening very, very quietly and astutely. Nobody else has seemed to notice or cared to notice the woman with the hat standing there.
Okay. I'll go over to the
It's
woman
funny.
with the hat.
Okay.
She's the one who spoke binary earlier, right?
Nope. This is the
No.
woman who
No.
He's been
is
watching us.
quietly
watching.
Giving orders.
watching and directing the recovery of the
Gotcha.
ship.
I see. I'm gonna approach her and greet her, and I'll show her my badge, and I ask for her name.
She can barely see you. She actually doesn't really see you. She kind of holds out a hand, and you feel her hand kind of touch your coat, but it's not it's not like grabbing you. It's just kind of like
Okay.
like people in the dark.
Oh.
Like
Okay. I'll take her hand and shake it.
okay. So let's go with a willpower check.
A willpower.
That's right.
That is a 6.
A 6. You reach up
Mhm.
and grab the hand that was on you and realize there wasn't a hand on you. You felt something else. You were probably imagining it.
Oh.
And
Okay.
the air is cold where you thought you felt the hand.
I look
And-
back at the woman. Is she still there?
Yeah. In fact, she
Okay.
seems to be closer to you, and she does seem to see you now.
Okay. Interesting. But she doesn't have her hand reached out.
No. Her hands are held behind her back.
Her hands are held behind her back.
Yes.
Does she respond to me when I introduce myself?
She does, and she doesn't break eye contact with you. And she
Does
is
she introduce herself?
yes. She is saying that she is that she is accompanying the Inquisitor. And currently, she is not at liberty to discuss anything about her position. However, she is very interested in the goings-on of your party and would appreciate if you would take, and there's hesitance, as she kind of stifles Stifle's opinion, if you would take
Mm-hmm.
the protege with you, she can
The
afford
protege.
resources. If you are to meet the Omnissiah, and she's skeptical, we would appreciate information on this. There is, I think, a little bit of meta that you will want to know. So, one, the Omnissiah is, and this is meta, the Omnissiah is not real. The Omnissiah is the god of the Mechanicum. The Emperor learned about the god of the Mechanicum, and he was like, really? We really need their help with stuff. What is their lore around the god of the Mechanicum? And then basically set it up so that he appeared as it was written the Omnissiah would. The Mechanicum was like, shit. Because either the Mechanicum in charge say that everything that they've written and passed on for generations is bullshit, or they accept this new guy as the Omnissiah. Those are the two options. They went with the latter because it was easier. Now, this is ancient history. Ancient history. The Emperor of Man is bones on a throne right now. You're not doing much. But that's how the Emperor is the Omnissiah.
And this is common knowledge.
No. But
Okay.
There are quite a few people who know something similar, and most people do not think that the Omnissiah is anything more than some imaginary thing that the tech priests pray to. Frankly, nobody talks about or thinks about the Omnissiah unless they're waiting for a ritual to be completed, because in order to, turn something off and turn it on again, you have to burn sage and pray for an hour. But
Right.
unless you're quietly muttering things about the Omnissiah under your breath, waiting for your dishwasher to start, it's not something that comes up for most people. This individual, you're picking up a knowing and understanding to some degree that this is very strange and that she would appreciate information and that there is benefit to being accompanied by this person.
I would be happy to extend an invitation to her to accompany us. And
Okay.
because I think, so when you say, sorry, so you said that she was accompanying the Inquisitor?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you said?
That's right.
And
She's currently accompanying the Inquisitor.
Inquisitor. And do I take that to mean the Inquisitor that... no, that's different.
We
That's a different Inquisitor.
Yet, yeah.
You haven't met him.
The future has encountered
The
an
future,
Inquisitor.
that's right. In fact, you encountered
of them
two of
even.
them. You encountered two of them.
Right.
You encountered two of them.
So I ask her, I ask her who the Inquisitor is, because I'm not quite sure where the Inquisitor is, like, amongst us at this particular moment. Is the Inquisitor a part of the ship, or is the Inquisitor somewhere else?
This is going to be a willpower check. Go ahead and roll willpower.
Okay. That is a 37.
37. You feel almost as if you've been dipped into a perfectly temperatured hot bath. It starts low and it raises high and it completely engulfs you. You're warm and you feel at ease. You're comforted. completely.
Ooh.
In fact, I would like the rest of the party to roll the willpower check, please.
Willpower.
Coming from the lady or just like in general?
I'm just saying that's how she feels.
I was just gonna ask if I'll do willpower. Hold on. Questions after.
Willpower. That's an
5.
18.
5. All right.
10.
So
Wow.
your
7.
5. Was that D-Beck that rolled a 5?
No, I rolled a 10.
You rolled a 10. Okay, damn, nice. And Nigel rolled a 5.
Yes.
Okay. So, Nigel, you feel this begin, and you kind of shake it off, and you realize that it's hard to explain, but you can almost feel as if it's hard to say. She's clearly over there somewhere in the darkness, but the woman you saw, it was almost as if she was making you your favorite breakfast foods. It was like she was whispering something very soothing into your ear. But it's impossible and also silly, and you shake it off and think nothing of it. Our 10 roll, you feel the same soothe. It's a warm, like getting into a bath. It's a comforted. You feel at ease. In fact, you feel sleepy. It's not.
Probably take that grenade out of that dude's mouth.
It didn't go in his mouth. I want to be very clear. It can't fit. 40K grenades are not like. I don't know if you ever held a grenade. Mouths don't fit grenades, but this warmth, it's the higher the number that you rolled, the more, I would say, complete the feeling is. You just feel very, very safe. And our actual speaker here, Pilar, you're speaking with this woman, and she says, we don't know where he is. I understand that could be very alarming news, but the Inquisitor is missing, as with half of the ship. Currently, our efforts are to save as many people on board as possible. If you can provide any information, we would very much appreciate your assistance.
Well, we don't have a lot of information to provide. We've already said why we're here and what we seek. An explanation to the goings on in our hive. We don't really know why you're here,
Thank you.
but we'd like to help if we can. If you can also help us.
And you feel the... let's see a fellowship from you.
Okay. That is a 10, and my fellowship is 40, so that's
3
3
degrees success.
degrees. Yeah.
Okay. Not only does she believe you, you actually feel almost an embrace from her without any kind of physical contact or her moving whatsoever. She's reaching out to you, but she's not. And she says,
With vibes.
With the vibe. She said, we have little to provide, but we will provide. And she glances at the Mechanicum. Well, what has been set aside? And the 3 upright Magos and the 1 kneeling Magos are still staring and clicking intently at Cece.
As she's just arguing back and forth with her fleshy cousin, like, let me go to space.
You feel almost a draining sensation. You long for the sensation that once filled you, but it's almost pulled from you. you feel empty and almost sad without it. But you feel cool again of the dark cave.
It's just like the dirt or different.
Oh,
Oh wait, CC didn't feel it. I got a 7.
it's very different.
Did I feel it? Okay.
It's different. But an astute observation.
Well,
And she
Sarah's
just,
not quite sure what to do.
yeah.
I think she would like to I think she wants to just sort of focus the party on the task at hand. And
The
so
Messiah.
so Zara's gonna go over to Nyla and Cece and just sort of place a hand on both ladies
Mm-hmm.
and just be like, hey, so going to find the Omnissiah is all well and good. But I think before we do any of that, we need to figure out what's happening with our hive and also figure out why there's a ship in the middle of everything. And then, when we have discovered our answers, Cece, you are welcome to go and show these people to the Omnissiah.
The Magos who initially made contact with Cece lets out a small scree of dissatisfaction and gliding on what seems to be a, we'll just say, superhuman level of even just fluid movement darts toward the grouping. The scream turns into a hum, an almost forced opinion of undulation is present from under the robes.
And then I say to Cece, please deal with that before it gets any closer.
It's like on top of you.
Oh, okay, well, I still say, Cece, can you please deal with that?
Honestly, everybody's in charge of their own thoughts, feelings, and emotions and how we capitulate them. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? If somebody's angry, feel angry. If you told me, oh, I have like a person that could take you straight to God or whatever, and their friend was like, stop it, I would feel some type of way. I can't
didn't
fault
say-
them for that.
I didn't say that you couldn't take them to God. What I said is I think we need to focus on the tasks that we've already got ahead of us before we do
Okay.
that.
But
Because
theoretically,
if
right?
God is wherever God is, they will still be there
The
when we're done.
in your heart. Well, what tech priests use for a heart in
Yes.
their black box. That's where the
Deep in
emperor
your
is.
circuit, in your motherboard.
Yeah. Anyway, wouldn't you like to be the saint of whatever the fuck our planet's called? And that way our planet will also rise to even greater heights and you'll get to meet the Omnissiah? Hebra's so proud.
I mean, sure, that sounds great, but I think they were putting more steps in the way from me just going to see the Omnissiah. Why would I tie me or my planet to, like, the shackles of their production as it relates to what? Kelp? Or a tourist trap because Cece the Saint Cece and Deacon Muffin came from here? Like, why put that extra burden on you all when I could just go?
Nigel, please roll a grapple test.
Is this agility or strength?
This is going to be strength. He rolled a 69.
I got a
Nice.
46.
That is a grapple of some sort.
Yeah. So he's still struggling.
Truly.
And he manages to flip himself over so that he's now face down. Get off of me!
Somebody's getting off.
I'm just going to try to convince him that it's in his best interest to lie still.
Yeah, he doesn't. But, yeah, I mean, you can't really get off. Well, sorry, you don't find yourself forced off. Obviously. So he's still struggling. He's not using his full strength to toss you off because he's aware of that anchor somewhere near his head. He's a little intimidated, we'll say. But he's not really going anywhere with that. Hanging right next to his head. He doesn't know what the hell an anchor is doing here. So, okay. The Magos is...
I will say in binary chatter, I'll just be like, okay, there's so much fleshy yapping happening. If we could stop the fleshy yapping by like giving them whatever paltry considerations they need, then we can go see the Omnissiah. Easy. Take 2 seconds so that they will stop being annoying and asking me for stuff, so that y'all can be annoying and ask me for stuff, because this is more important. So let's, I guess, I don't know, save a police station.
Roll fellowship, please.
I'm so good at fellowship, it's not like it's my lowest score that I have. No, wait, that's ballistic.
I try to help.
Go on.
And I
I rolled a
refuse the help.
36, and my oh, dying. My fellowship is something.
I rolled a 3.
Oh, you don't need me.
Listen to your saint.
I think that's a very astute observation, Caldwell. This is...
Oh, sorry. The thing that I wanted to ask was, did I clock that all of the power and lights going out was the result of the tech priests?
Yes.
Or did that just... Okay. Why are we trying to sneak away in darkness?
They're not trying to sneak you away. They're just trying to basically...
Move power elsewhere?
Yeah.
Got it.
They have literally no other interest right now. And so they have stopped all function and efforts toward anything but serving the Omnissiah.
So fair, honestly. I say as the person piloting the tech priest.
Yeah. So here's the thing. You said that you're helping. Sarah, what does that look like?
Just being supportive of CC's sainthood with a 36 of support.
Okay.
Making me a Pope smiter.
Sell to me, please, Roland, how it is that you are going to... What is it you're going to try to communicate to the head Magos here? And what is it that you want?
All of these minor inconveniences are but a grain of sand in what will be the eventual desert full of glory, bathing in the light of the Omnissiah. We get it. So, like, honestly, what? Like, fuck this ship. Like, leave them all there to rot. Not the tech priests, though. I looked at your computer, and there's a bunch of fucking tech priests that are, like, in the dirt down there. Can we get them, please? But no, let's just, like, clear up this floor for business or whatever, and then we can go. It's like having to brush your teeth before you go out for the day. Like, please, just, like, it's minuscule. It takes no time, especially with the numbers you have. And also, you guys are, like, so jacked. You have so much stuff. I want it. Like,
Okay.
I want to look like, yeah.
Here is the way this is going to go down. So, they rolled a 1. And you, even with your 3...
And I'm going to use a fate point to make them re-roll.
You can.
As in, did they rolled a 1 to not be convinced, or they rolled a 1 to be my bestie?
They rolled a 1 to have their own opinion. And your 1 was to convince them of your opinion. Fate point?
Fate point. I will spend my fate point to make them re-roll.
That's how fate points can be used. It's okay. You're twerking fate. It is now a 25.
I had a 3.
I know. Yeah, you're good. So your 25, or their 25, is bent to your 3's will. As you have described it, they see the logic in what you're saying, Without the
Protect
full force of the rest of the Mechanicum, the Ordos present, especially with that present in your minuscule hive, is not enough to sway this many who have not yet come to the light. Very well. And a little, very, very perceptive among you will see a kind of disappointed shamble to his feet. The one who was on his knees, just kind of stands upright, but he's ready to go as well. And I would say, Pilar, can I get a perception from you, please?
Certainly. That. Oh, damn. That is a 97.
97. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, never mind then. Let's get a perception from... Well, that'll do, actually. So, here you are. The tech priest who you have kind of had this one-to-one with gestures back at the three other mages behind him. They're thick, thick, thick cowls, draping full body over what doesn't seem to be any human left. These are high-standing people whose ranks you don't initially even recognize. This is some meaty biz. They are barely people anymore and would probably take, depending on the tone, insult if you called them people. They are high mages of the Ordos Mechanica. And they kind of move off into the dark. They can see just fine. But they're kind of, well, there was mention of a transport. Maybe that's where they're going. It's hard to say. But you have an open hand gesture from the Magos who was in front of you to follow them. They're gesturing back toward the wreckage of the ship.
Okay.
I pick up Muffin and I start following behind the mages. I'm like, Muffin, you're gonna get your own planet. It's gonna be so cute. I'm gonna get you like so many dog traits.
Oh my god. How about the rest of you guys? What are you doing?
I think I'm still wrestling with Ducky here.
Okay.
I think Cece tosses back behind her. We're gonna go like fix your ship or whatever.
Okay.
Yay!
Okay, so you said you're going to fix the ship, and then Sarah yells yay, and then...
Nyla takes that to mean that we're going to finish our objective
Okay.
before Cece departs for the Omnissiah.
I got you.
I'm just like,
Okay. And then, how about you guys? So we have Pilar, and Lindoa is just going to be following CC. We have the wrestling happening with a guy in handcuffs, and we have D-Beck, who's also there, kind of just twisting an anchor in front of his nose, and we have Pilar.
I would like to. Is the woman with the hat still there?
She is. Her back is to you.
She is.
She's she has someone holding a light in front of her at something. It's some piece of tech that seems to be of interest, and someone else is waiting behind her with a data pad for some kind of approval or something.
Okay. I'd like to walk closer and see if I see what they're talking about, if there's anything of interest. And offer to share, and if she is
Roll willpower, please.
if she, okay. It's a 16.
16. As your
Yeah.
first foot falls in the direction toward her, The second your foot makes full contact with the dirt, there's a flash, a pulse. Doesn't really exist, but it's exciting. And you can see her eyes, almost as if you were looking into them at that moment. Big, curious eyes, staring at you for just a second.
But she's not looking at me.
She's not looking at you.
She's facing away from me.
That's right.
Okay.
And it startles you, but I imagine you persist because you were just remembering her, perhaps. Your second foot falls, and you can see the symbol of the Inquisitor. You don't know how you know, but you can tell that this is the Inquisitor, whoever it is. It's not her, but you can see, or at least that's not the feeling you get. You can see the symbol of the Inquisitor, the mark of that Inquisitor.
Okay.
Just as you saw her eyes a second ago. This causes you to stagger because you've never seen this before. You've never seen the symbol, but it was pushed into your mind for just a pulse.
Okay.
Are you continuing your walk toward her? Causes you to stagger because it's weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do stagger a bit, and I
It's okay. There's no wrong answer.
Yep. I think that I think I just I think I would continue to approach.
Yeah.
Because I would just like to offer to share what I've written in the notebook so far as our discoveries, since I had already offered to share information with her.
Okay. And you hear her saying to you, you have what you need. If there is something that your team might provide, and it's about this time, hearing her voice, you feel a little at ease. But more importantly, it's at this point, after already hearing her start her sentence, that you see her stand upright, turn around, face you, and begin speaking. Her lips are out of sync with her voice.
Okay.
She
Can
continues.
I see what her lips are saying? Okay.
She continues. She says, if there's anything on your way back that you believe will provide assistance, please take it. We have, I believe, enough to create a stable environment awaiting your return. Please find the Inquisitor. And please take the protege. Her words match her lip movements, but they are offset by about 4 seconds.
Okay. I decide to follow Cece, but I record all of this in my notebook.
Are you doing it right then and there?
I think I look at her for a moment and I nod, and then I continue on, and then I'll start scribbling.
Okay.
In the dark, presumably.
Yeah. I mean, people are putting together emergency chemical lamps around you. It's dire without the generators, God damn it. But it's something that they're putting together, the emergency pieces.
Okay.
And
I think I just can. So I think to myself, who is the protege? And I wonder if she hears my thoughts, because I was hearing her in my head before she was actually speaking to me.
yes.
Does she respond?
The protege, she doesn't respond to you. She is back to her business. 2 more people have come up and are in different states of urgency. But you do feel like you know the answer. And it's Nigel's friend.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we've already arrested him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he's cuffed.
Hang on.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What do you mean we've
So
arrested
then
him?
I shout encouragement to
To
Ebbis.
Ebis is his name.
What is it?
His name is Ebis Mull.
Ebbis Mall.
I
Okay.
think you'll find his name is Ducky.
Ducky. All right.
I think you'll find
But-
I have a picture of him that I can upload to 40K chat.
Oh, excellent. I'm very pleased to
This
see that.
tickles me. Okay. I meta know this character. Okay.
Anyway,
Um,
Do you
yeah, so anyway, I
tell
call
the rest
back
of the
and I'm-
group that we're supposed to
Yeah,
take
I
that guy
tell-
with
I-
us?
Yeah, I tell the rest of the group. I'm like, I think we should continue on. Let's take that guy with us. You know. It's already
This
under
guy-
arrest. Might as well
this
keep
guy
him
is my
in our
prisoner.
custody. Yes, indeed.
You can't have him.
okay, fellowship time.
Well, I don't want him as long as you keep
Oh.
him and he comes with us.
Just put a lead on him.
I do have peer Arbite, so I get a +10.
She is a peer and an Arbite. That's of course you do. That's amazing. I love this because you're a peer. Okay, go on. I'm sorry. That's really funny. That's never come up. I don't think, at least that I've seen. I'm sure it's come up somewhere in someone's campaign. But the idea that somebody used peer Arbite on their fellow Arbite is hilarious. And also the brazen way that Nigel says it, like, I have peer Arbite. Hello. Yeah. I mean, okay. Anyway, this is really funny. I love that. Please continue.
So what does this prisoner look like? I don't think I see the picture, but like, how big is he?
He's quite tall. He is with boots on. He's probably 6'3". I say tall, but I guess it's like maybe 6'4".
That's tall to me.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
most
that's
people.
Yeah.
Effie's 5'2", so
Is
Oh,
he-
even
is he-
better.
Cuffed or restrained other than you grappling him?
He's
No,
restrained.
he's actively cuffed.
Also, there's an anchor right in front of his face that he can barely see, so he's really worried about moving his head too much, and honestly knows that if he struggles too much, he's going to get hit with it. That's the implication. And so even though he's thrashing, it's almost for performance sake, not because
I
he
see.
thinks he's going to get free.
all right. Ducky,
Okay.
You wanted to meet our supervisor? Let's go meet him. I'm
Okay.
gonna pick him up and like
Okay.
maybe dust him off a little.
And let's get a strength check from you, Nigel.
How tall are you, Nigel?
I am
5'2".
5'2".
Okay. It's gonna look
think
really
I'm the-
adorable dusting him off.
I have a strength of 45 and I rolled a 37.
Ooh. All right.
Nice.
Well, I would say this is an even contest. So as much as he struggles, you struggle back and you keep a hand on the cuffs. He's not going anywhere, but he's like, uncuff me this moment.
Now,
No.
It put you under arrest, so you're under arrest until you're not under arrest anymore.
Under arrest of
I
whose
know.
authority?
Oh my
gosh, it takes
god!
so much to
How many
explain.
times do we
Arbites
have
of
to
this
say
planet.
this?
My authority, Ducky. And that's your name.
Oh,
From now on,
get him.
you will be referred to as Ducky.
Okay. He tries to leg sweep you with a 99. Beat a 99.
49.
49. He accidentally, because it's so dark, tries to leg sweep and kicks the full steel of D-Beck's anchor and stubs his toe by mistake really hard.
Dumbass.
Does he fall down?
He doesn't fall down, but he's really trying to keep his face angled away so that the glint of whatever light is around can't see his eyes watering.
That sounded like it hurt.
Ducky, Ducky, Ducky.
And,
I'm gonna remove his pants now.
okay, now this is going to be interesting because You have to roll a dexterity.
Agility?
Yes, thank you. Agility, yes.
75.
So you don't get his pants off. He does knee you in the chin as you bend down to do it.
Okay.
Well,
That,
can we just?
That's assault.
That's
that is
assault? That's
An
assault?
officer.
Oh my god.
Welcome with dealing with the police.
So,
Is
you...
he
Now
wearing a
you're
belt?
double under arrest.
Oh. Now, you
Does
guys...
he have a belt on?
Yes, he has a belt.
I take it off.
You would have had to do that with your dexterity check. You failed that and you were kneed in the chin instead.
Okay.
All right.
Unless you're making another
Shall we
attempt.
go along?
Yeah, can we leave? The faster we get this done, the faster Cece can meet the Omnissiah.
As soon as you say the words, there's an almost elation level of chittering from the Magos nearby.
Yeah, see, he sounds super excited about this, and so we can't ruin his dreams.
Or mine, thank you.
Yes, Cece, you're amazing, and also a saint now. So, and I do like the best curtsy Nyla can muster.
I do a prom queen wave.
Anyway, we should start doing what we're supposed to be doing, which I guess is now looking for an Inquisitor, which I would say that's very important. But also, fixing
doing
floor
what?
4. I don't remember what we were doing, honestly. I'm confused about what's happening here with our prisoner.
I think we're just gonna take him along for company.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, he'll be great company. I think he's gonna yell at us a lot. He looks like a yeller.
Do
Oh,
any
well.
of you have like something we can bind his mouth with?
Use his belt.
Yeah,
Good
just grab his
idea.
belt.
How about we just ask him to not talk? Hey, don't say anything, or he's gonna put a belt in your mouth.
Asking him to do stuff didn't seem to work earlier.
Yeah, that's why you put him under arrest.
Yeah, well, now maybe he'll be more cooperative now that he's kicked that giant anchor and hurt his feet.
Are you crying? Are you? Why are you bent over like that? Are you crying? Are you sad that you're under arrest? That's Cetra.
Let's roll perception for everybody.
Most people are sad when they're under arrest. It happens a lot.
That's so fair. Especially if you're not used to dealing with the justice system.
22.
22.
75.
75.
89.
What was yours?
9.
9, and then Nigel, what was yours?
89.
89, and then D-Beck?
38.
38. Okay. Sarah, what was yours?
22.
22. Okay. Okay, so. Couple of things. One, the man actually is very, very angry. There's only a couple of you who can see it. It's very dark. But he's no longer yelling. He directs one of the Magos to remove the cuffs. One of the Magos lowers his head and moves over
Stop it.
to begin removing one of the cuffs.
No, they don't.
They do. And
Quit it.
the next thing that happens is the eyes of this woman appear to Pilar again. It's just a pulse. There's not much to it. You couldn't tell if her eyes were green or if they were hazel before. It wasn't really something that was prominent, but the green seems to be much clearer now. Almost verdant. It's a pulse. It's gone again, but it was there and now it's gone. Your hearing is increased very slightly. You can add 5 to any hearing checks for the time being.
Okay.
And we have the mechanic. So CC, were you going to try to direct one of the Magos to stop? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, stop it.
Okay. Roll fellowship.
Because Effie arrested this man. I don't know the context besides him just being dumb.
No, yeah, that's
But
true.
our bodies stick with our bodies.
Yep.
Yeah, that's perfectly reasonable.
That man has been under arrest, and he will stay under arrest until Effie says otherwise. D100. Be happy for Breeze. Oh, that's only a 30.
It's a 12 to be
Hold on, what's my fellowship? Well, a 12 beats me, obviously.
So the Magos chittering something you're not able to make out, something about getting to the Omnissiah. You don't know what it says exactly, but with a head down in this slight submissive state, the head Magos you were speaking with moves over and begins to cut free the binds of this person.
Oh my god, what a waste of my time!
I get moving, and it'll be faster if this guy cooperate.
Yeah. Also, who is this? Who are you? You weren't answering any questions before.
Who are you?
Did you say his name is Ducky now? Are you Ducky?
His
We
name is
already
Ducky.
told you who we are. We're Arbites. My name is Nyla Fox. Arbite Nyla Fox from floor 1. There are 4 floors. You're under the earth in our maintenance ducts. Were you
He's walked away
listening at
from
all?
you about 4 seconds ago. Where are the Emperor damned
I'm Saint Cecilia Fox.
Toe! Who moved this here? As he just kind of marches off into the dark, stubbing his right toe on something else. It's already sore. It
Nothing, go
hurts.
bite him.
Oh my god.
Can we like tie a
Do we
rope
need this
around
guy?
him?
He's marching with the Magos
Or
toward
something.
where they were going.
Oh, good. So he's going in the whatever
great.
direction we needed to go in.
Yeah.
This guy is not coming with us when we go see the Omnissiah.
That's
totally
fine.
reasonable.
I hope that I will be blessed to see the Omnissiah despite not being a tech priest, but if not, I totally understand.
All right. So
You're still out. I'll keep you posted.
Thank you.
you just hear.
Anyway, we
as
should
he's
follow these guys probably.
at a pretty good clip with the 3 subordinate Magos. They are further along. The head of this quartet seems to be keeping pace with the actual group proper. But you just hear something about throne damned lights. And then a couple seconds later, you do see lights kind of silhouetting the 3 Magos and the frumpy dude as they
Oh, grumpy.
kind of make their way parallel to the ship just into a rocky area where there seem to be transports. You're not really sure. You see lights and you can see some engines.
Well, I'm gonna chase after my prisoner.
Sure.
That's very fair.
Yep.
That's the way we're going anyway.
Yep.
So
Yeah, and
He
you're
is playing hard to get.
playing hard to get. I get it. So you're chasing after him, and so you'll find yourself between these 2 groups, so to speak, when we have another pulse for Pilar. And can I get a willpower check, please?
a full 96.
It feels like being electrocuted. You don't know
In a-
why.
Good way?
No.
Okay.
In a bad way. And it stops you cold. And you take 1 wound.
Okay.
But you are stopped, full, in place. Wondering what the hell it was, I imagine. You take just long enough that you can hear something. It's like static. But not like... it's like it's static. It's staticky. It's like... It's like static. It's hard to describe.
Okay.
Static. Hard to make out, really. Anyway,
Can I listen more closely since I have +5 to hearing?
sure. you can listen a little closer.
Okay.
Doesn't really sound like static so much. And then it's gone. It's just, maybe you imagined it. It's hard
Okay.
to
Okay.
know. Weird.
That is weird.
But following in step with the group, you're making your way. You can't hear much else. Nigel can hear it because he's a little bit closer, but you hear more about the throne damned lights. Ah, finally! You hear the finally very, very loud, but it's as a few motes of green appear in the distance. It's green light. Somebody must have found a stash of the chemical lights. That's all.
Good.
Yeah.
Able to see.
What's that?
Nice to be able to see.
Yeah. You can't really see much, and you don't really see where it is, but they're like lines of green on the ground, almost like runway lines almost. But just a little less orderly as they're being, carried or something. You just see light, that's all. Okay. So, you're organizing, you have increased your party. You have like a movie theater, not very, I would say a little brighter, much more distant, but yeah, not an incorrect comparison, but much further away. Okay, so there we go. We somehow passed 2 hours of time, and also that's where we're going to put it today. So that's going to be where we put it for this session. I know that we didn't really move very far, but there was a lot apparently to talk about. Cece made some
Lots of
friends.
So many, and soon to be many more.
Oh. And we also have,
Or maybe in the thrall of a siren.
who knows? Who knows? And Ladoa didn't roll anything tragic enough to get anyone killed. That's pretty cool. D-Beck actually saved Nigel from effectively leg jail, which I'm not sure Nigel really knew, but Nigel was very close to going to leg jail. And
Oh,
yeah, I know. And D-Beck kept that from happening. Anchoring the individual, so to speak. But yeah, now at the request of this individual, the potential siren, it was basically that you take him with you, and it was meta for Pilar. You're not sure if it was because of how helpful he can be, or because she has work to do and she would like to get it done effectively.
Without him interfering.
Yes. And so you're not really sure, and it might be both. It's hard to say. But
First name
That's
Meat,
fair.
last name Shield.
hey, you know what? If he can tell the head magist what to do and then he does it,
He seems pretty important.
it's important
Yeah.
enough that maybe someone will listen to him. So hey, obviously not you guys. I'm just saying it's someone might. So
He got arrested. We don't respect him.
sure,
Nope.
fine enough. That's perfectly fine. I have I
arrested
got
by the littlest person on the team.
yeah. He's a pretty wide guy. He's not terribly old, but you'll I don't know what picture Sarah put up, but Sarah does.
It was the most recent one I'd done.
I would say it's pretty close then. Pretty close. But I think that's where we're going to be putting a little bookmark on this one, because next week there's no 40K per our arrangement beforehand. But we will
Vacation.
resume the
Ooh.
past, actually, when we do pick up again. So it's going to be a continuation of this session next time.
Yay.
So it won't be the future. it'll be this. Same people. Next time.
Same time.
Yep. And
Same back channel.
make sure everybody set their clocks for daylight savings. And, well, damn. Thanks so much, everybody. Ending the stream, well, I guess right now.